Unfiltered by Jade.
Jade.
Welcome to the Unfiltered by Jade, where we educate, empower, and entertain. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, download, donate, and make everybody know about this.
Beats by RB Records.
Shopping assistance, your style, your budget. Our services include online and local shopping for individuals and businesses, personal shopping, purchasing of company and office supplies, importing and exporting small packages across Jamaica and worldwide, and helping you find unique gifts and items for all events and occasions. Contact us at 876-919-5195 or shoppingassistance2015@gmail.com. Shopping Assistance, your style, your budget.
Welcome back to the Unfiltered by Jade. Today we have with us here Kemar Scott. He is a poet, he's a minister. Today we're going to be speaking about the silent struggle and emotional healing. Hi, Kemar.
Hey, how you doing, Jade? Thanks for
I'm
having me.
good. No problem. Thank you so much for being here. So I want us to jump into it, right? Why? Why do you think it's often a silent struggle for many men?
This topic is one that I have with a lot of men, both Christians and non-Christians. And it's sad that we have been suffering in silence because unfortunately we weren't grown and we weren't groomed in terms of how we should properly express ourselves. There's almost like there's no one for us to go to. We feel that way because there are times that we say that there are persons that we might can go and express our state of mind or we're feeling, certain emotional things that we're going through. And the feedback I get from a lot of men and also from my experience, sometimes you don't feel that level of comfort with the person. Yes, they might say that it should be comfortable, but the feedback almost seems as if you're a soft. You shouldn't feel that way. You're a man it out. Don't cry. If you cry is a sign of weakness. So these things have been plaguing us as men for years. And because of that, I feel it also contributes to how we treat the females as well.
Mm. Can you dig a little deeper for that part?
All right. So for example, so we have all these unwanted emotions and we have them all bottled up. And how society shows us how a man should be is the man should be this tough guy. You shouldn't be afraid of anything. But the truth is we're human beings. We have feelings just like everybody, just like how the female feels about certain things. So it's like when all these emotions and all these feelings keep on coming, swelling in the bottle. So it's like we just break out and we will lash at our kids, we lash at our wives, we lash at our friends and family because we don't feel our we don't even know if there's somewhere that we can actually go and speak to someone about how we can manage these emotional imbalances that we're having based on how life is treating us and how things are happening. Because I have a friend. I remember he was acting out. He was just behaving funny, and this story just came back to my mind. He was acting out and behaving funny, and even me, a friend, always said to him, "Say, yo, bro, what more?" We keep on saying him good, him good, him good, him good, so forth and thing. Long story short, what was happening is that his parents were going through a divorce, and it affected him to the point where he was, rebelling. He was smoking, he was drinking, and I remember talking to him years after, and he expressed this feeling to me. He said that, bro, me never have nobody to talk to. Me literally never have nobody to talk to because those who I felt that I could have gone to, they didn't give me that assurance because the other thing that he said that he was afraid of was for person to go back and to say to somebody that, yo, he's reacting this way because of that. Because we had other friends who had similar situations where their parents broke up, and on the outside surface of things, we saw where that individual seem or appear to be okay and
Right.
manning
Mm-hmm.
it out, because when we're around each other as men, we say, yo, just tug it out, man, hold it in, and we say, come hold a drink, come hold a vibe, come play some ball. But that doesn't really heal the situation, it's still there festering. So for the temporary moment and time that we're probably around with our friends, and man and man talk and reason, and we are drink two juice, you might get a temporary healing, but right after that, you
It
go
goes
right
right back.
it
Mm-hmm.
goes right back. So, it's a constant thing. For me though, Jade, what has helped me, to be honest with you, because I've also had to go through these situations. For me, I have really, and it might sound like a cliche, but really, it's God, it's Christ
Mm-hmm.
that has helped me, in the sense that I made an effort to spend some time talking to God, just like how I'm talking to you now. And as
Right.
situations come, and I've been doing this before marriage and during marriage, because it doesn't stop. It's a
Right.
constant thing that happens from day to day. And sometimes I ask God to give me that spirit to just control my mind and my actions
Mm-hmm.
in the moment. Because sometimes when we don't have that self control, what happens is that we react, probably say something and do something that we end up regretting. So God
Yes.
has helped me to be able to control my tongue and my actions, because when I feel like I'm going to react a certain way, I like just don't say nothing. I just walk out a little or something just to catch back myself. And that has literally been my therapy that has been helping me. Because I know for sure, because even in my church, I serve my church as I held at the church. And these are some of the things that when I'm given the opportunity to speak, I speak on the silent struggle that men go through. I often like even, say the reason with Pastor, because he's a young man himself. And I know for sure that it's not easy to be a pastor and to lead a church. Church people are not easy people to deal with. And he
They're
has
not
a
easy at
wife.
all.
Yeah, it's very tough. He has a wife and he has kids. And I know that he's going through some of these things. So sometimes even the ministers, they don't have anybody to go through. So sometimes just randomly, I just want some reason with him and say, oh, Pastor, well, go on. Just forgive my little check for make sure I'm all right. Because, even pastors, they suffer in silence too about
Yes,
these
they do.
things. Yes, and they
Mm-hmm.
even more than we believe. They really do. And that's why sometimes you have churches where you have leaders who we look up to. And then down the line, a couple of years later, so they split up with their wife and we're like, when did this happen? Because as far as we are concerned, they were the perfect couple.
That's tough. That's tough. I want to know though, how does unhealed emotion or emotional trauma show up in men's relationship, work, or fatherhood? Because yes, men tend to put on a facade to say it's okay, and they don't want anybody calling them soft or weak or whatever it is. But it becomes unhealed, and then it shows up in their relationship in a particular way that either damages it or causes some kind of trouble.
One of the main things that men do, and I'm guilty of it as well, we neglect. We neglect
Yeah.
we neglect the wife, we neglect the kids, and we neglect the situations at work, whether it be the work itself, people. So that's one of the main things I realize. And that is why you have so many fatherless homes. Because as
Mm.
men, we find it easier to walk away than actually to stand up to the issue that we're facing. So that's one of the biggest thing that's a clear sign of it, that I see that all of us as men, if we're not mentally stable enough, we just walk away because we
Mm.
find it easier to walk away from the problem. So that's a clear sign. Of course, there are other things. Of course, there's the verbal abuse, there's the physical abuse, of course. And there's also the situation of a wandering mind. So you as a man, you find yourself, you go out and you are experimenting with other females, and it's almost like you're trying to find something. So you become a bit promiscuous in your mindset and behavior.
Right, right. What are some of the biggest internal or external obstacles men face when it comes to seeking help or expressing emotional pain?
I don't know. It's almost as if there's really no outlet for us to speak. That's one of the things. I
But
mean,
there's counseling out there, Kimber.
yeah, I know, and I know that you're saying counseling. Then again, it's I guess it's ingrained in the culture. As men, we're not so quick to go to a counseling session, say with family life, or so to sit and reason or a situation with a total stranger. And as men, and everybody will want to know we business like that. So because that is ingrained in our culture and how we perceive things, that maybe not be an option for most of the men. I think what a lot of the men hoped that they could have done was, and this is just a feedback from talking to various ages of men, but marry, unmarry, Christian, non-Christian, they want to be able to probably express this feeling to their loved one. It means to their wife, without feeling a sense of being vulnerable, because the fear of how the woman might perceive you after that has not been a manly man, because you're bringing some emotional baggage on her. Because this is a feedback what I hear men say, after going to the woman, after is like, but I'm not saying for all females though, but it seems to be that a lot of men seem to either experience this or have a fear of it.
So what you're saying is, what I'm getting from what you're saying is two things that are destroying or causing men to not want to see counseling is the culture. Because culture determines or dictates how men are, and because how they're grown, what they see.
Yes.
So they don't want to be perceived a particular way. And the fact that some of them don't feel like they have a safe environment or a
Yes,
safe
exactly.
space to express themselves and be
Yes.
comfortable with their skin.
Yes. Yes, Jade, because remember growing up, I can tell you as a man, growing up, you see the man who we grew to admire was that guy who all ladies love and admire and talk about. And that guy was always the macho, tough guy. And that macho, tough guy wasn't the guy who I got to know a woman and go cry or bawl or, seem to have no emotional imbalance. So you grow seeing these things, and you grow feeling that that is what it is to be a man who have no emotional imbalance, nothing to phase you, you know so unfortunately it festers certain other issues that we are faced with as men. So it's like a whole melting pot of things because of how we were cultured from birth, and indirectly our parents and our family members also facilitate this environment of who a man should be, the man that doesn't cry. When the girl falls, we run to pick her up, say, you know, you he tried to smooth her wound and make her feel comfortable. But when the boy falls, he's told to get up and don't cry, and ask him, "Yeah, girl, where you ball for?"
True, true, true. But for I'm gonna say this for culture. For culture, they don't want men to be quote unquote soft, and I'm going to use that loosely, right? And I think it's wrong to do that because even for us as Christians, biblically, Jesus displayed emotions. God displayed emotions. When
Yeah,
Jesus' friend died, he cried, right?
yes,
He was angry. He showed compassion. He showed disappointment. He
yes,
showed sorrow and distress. He
yes,
showed amazement. He
yes,
showed all these things as a
yes.
man.
And
So why is it that men, even in the church, knowing the Bible, reading the Bible, are still not taking up that disposition that Jesus had, but yet still take up culture instead of the path that Jesus set? And I think if it is that men take that route, it probably would be better for them because if we look at it, and statistically speaking, and so many other research have been done, more men commit suicide than females, right?
yes,
And it's because they're not expected
yes,
or they can have the space to speak. And I'm going to say it as a woman, sometimes we do not give men that space, right?
That
And
is
it's because of also what women are taught. We're taught no, men should be protecting and providing, whatever it is.
that is
But the
it.
truth is, if a man doesn't show you emotions, he cannot also show you love,
Amen. Amen, sister. That's deep.
right? So we want men to show us emotions, um, yet still they're trying to show us, they don't even know how to show us love because they're already struggling with the fact of how am I going to show emotions. I have to keep it in check. So if I'm sad, I have to, I'm a good man, I'm cool. I've known men who have lost persons for them, and when they ask them, are you cool, they don't want to talk about it. No, say who you are. But I think they want to be strong, and I think it's because the expectation of how women sees them, which is causing more damage than not in the society. So the culture and the space that men don't have the safety net to speak is actually damaging our men, which is causing problems for our women, which inherently is causing problems for children.
Amen. And I totally agree, sis. Totally agree. But um as I go along, I never try to say I know everything or do I have everything under control. And as I go along, I try to learn. I try to listen, take advice from other person, also the females as well. Because I I realize that one of the issues that probably plague men too oftentimes, we don't listen, to be honest. We're a bit stubborn at times, and it's important for us to to take advice from the lady, especially the ones that we know really care for us. We're talking like the sisters, the aunts, the mothers, the wife, and even the
Mm-hmm.
church mother, the church sister, because we know when we know those females who really care and check for us. Oftentimes they're the ones who are quicker to pick up certain little signs in us than even our friends, because when they go around the man them flick on a switch there and go into the macho mode, oftentimes that's why people wonder. And male friends say, Emir say John Tom commit suicide, and he's he can't fathom it because he's saying, when did he reach like this? And him tell us, say, just like the other day, me and him cool, we are sit down, we are talk about football, and then to them kill himself. How? You know what I mean? But the women are able to detect these signs
Yes,
quicker
true.
than men do.
Very, very true. I want to know, for how can we help men redefine strength, not as suppression of emotion, but as emotional honesty and growth? How can we get men to reach a place where they can show their emotions and see it as strength instead of weakness?
We just have to keep on talking about it, keep on encouraging them, finding a way. And this, I think, this can help to for men to unlearn some of the things that we feel that we have to behave as men. So
Mhm.
as I see the other day, we had mental health awareness month for the men. We need to have more stuff like that to, because over time, because when you're unlearning a culture, unlearning yourself from something, it takes a while. So from time to time, we keep on encouraging them, talking them, having sessions, you know, just doing a range of stuff over a period of time, because it might have even a greater impact on the generation to come than maybe
Yes.
the one now. But I think we have to start somewhere.
Yes, I agree. We have to start somewhere. And counseling is available.
Yeah, it is available. And I don't know, we're gonna have to try to let them know that it's okay to go
It's
to a
okay.
counselor.
It's okay to go
Yeah,
to a counselor and
yeah,
speak. It's confidential, so nobody's going to be knowing your
yeah.
business. And it is a safer environment that you can be yourself. You can talk. It is okay. And it's a means of a way to be healthy mentally and physically. Because the truth is, it's best to speak about stuff than to suffer. And men are not going to generally go to their brethren and talk about certain things that affect them, right?
Yeah.
But you can go to counseling and do that. Have that means that you have that outlet to do so. So you can feel better, because we have to start taking care of ourselves and not just deal with everything as it comes as a man. Because as men, men have to also be able to sit in their emotions and sit in their feelings and understand why they're feeling a certain way and talk about it to create healthy families. How are we going to show our kids how to be healthy if we're not healthy, right?
And that's true. And you know, as we are talking, as simple, maybe it's an idea that we probably need to launch. It's an okay. It's okay. It's Okay campaign, a campaign called It's Okay, you know. So for the men, because they need to know for true, simple as it is, it's okay.
It's
It's okay
okay.
to, yeah, simple. So I see it on a shirt now. It's okay.
It's
So
okay. This is
yeah,
Kemar's thing. It's okay, right? It's
yeah, man, it's
okay.
okay. It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. Kim, where is it that we can find you if we want to connect with you?
I'm on mostly Instagram. It's Liberator Poet. As you introduced me earlier, I'm a spoken word artist. I do poetry. Yeah,
Okay, that's right.
I'm going to use
Nice.
that. I'm going to use that medium as well, um, to help, to encourage my brothers and friends. Fortunately for me, just writing poetry has been something that I've used to motivate myself. Oftentimes tell people that a lot of the poems that I write, I'm actually talking to myself.
Mm,
You know, I know you probably used to hear a poem I used to always, the God and I laugh. You know, these little things I was always talking to myself. There's one I call Man for Be a Man. I was talking to myself. How you say already?
mm,
You know,
mm.
these I'm a self me I talk to, you know. So even though it's like I'm giving a message out, but how I'm able to put these poems together is because I'm having that conversation. I'm talking to Kemar, the man on the inside, and this is my form of therapy. So
Nice.
so different from, just, finding other, trying to find somebody to speak with. I use this, so it's also a way I believe men can try other things too. It might not be poetry for you, whatever it is. You can find these things in, when you have that time, and when you're in your own space to just do
As
so.
long as it's not, as long as it's a healthy outlet.
Yeah, thank you very much. A healthy outlet, not the drinking and the smoking, of
Not the
course.
drinking or the smoking or the girls
Or
or
the girl,
whatever.
or the girl.
Outlet.
An healthy outlet, yes. Thanks for inputting that. And that's what I was referring to, an healthy outlet. And trust me, it works. Last point I want to make on that is just to say that it's not an overnight thing, it's a
Right.
process.
Yes.
And that is what people need to understand. So, what I'm saying now is not an overnight process, it's years of working on myself. It's years, it's not an overnight thing. So, sometimes because we're doing it for a little while and we don't feel that instant impact, we feel that it's worth nothing, but it's actually doing something that even sometimes after doing it for a while you realize the difference, because sometimes God sends somebody to say to you that, hey, I've noticed this difference about you, and you didn't even notice that you were being transformed from the inside.
True.
So
True. It takes time. Healing
it takes
takes
that,
time.
definitely. Yeah, just like a physical wound, it's the same thing with an emotional wound. It takes time to heal.
So give it the time. Give it the time to just heal and be patient. Be patient with yourself. So yes, if you're starting the healing process, it doesn't mean that as you heal, if something trigger you or something happen, you won't go back into that shell or walk away or try to neglect. You'll probably do that sometimes. Knowing that you're doing it and trying to correct that behavior will eventually allow you to start just doing the right thing.
Definitely, definitely. It's just like the Christian walk. I was able to realize a change in my life after I realized there were certain things that I should have not been doing, and I just stop do it and don't even realize I'm a stop, and I had no more desire for it because it took
And
some time, a
it
process,
takes some time. Yes,
takes,
it does. So
yes.
don't be hard on yourself. I want to hear of something that you have experienced yourself and I can connect with.
Yes, man. Sometimes when I go places and I do some poems, I'm surprised by the feedback that I receive from people. And it motivates me to continue. And I know why it's connecting, because I know where it's coming from. And it's not coming from a place where I'm trying to be popular or famous or trying to make some money. It's coming from a genuine place within my heart that I know that these situations are real, and not just myself, but other persons, male and female, are suffering with a lot of emotional baggage. Sometimes not necessarily caused by us. It could be something that we inherited from parents, family, a
Or it could be
relationship,
childhood.
our childhood, exactly. So I know what the real deal is. So that's why when I go there, I go speak from a place of realness.
It's hard, and I'm hoping that as a society we can allow men to start healing by not diminishing how they are and their feelings And women, I'm urging you out there, when your man is speaking, when you hear your friends, your male friends speaking, allow them to speak without criticism, because you don't want a situation where, you're in their shoes and you have a problem and you want to talk about it and they diminish how you feel. It's not a nice feeling. It's not a good feeling. And it's not a safe space. We all want safe spaces to be able to be ourselves and to be our authentic self without criticism, without shame, and without feeling that it would be pushed aside. Yeah.
Definitely so.
Yes. Is there any last thing that you'd like to leave with them?
I'll give a small, maybe 6 lines from a poem that I have.
Okay, that's fine.
Man fi be a man, not a pants pocket. Itch up on a back like a back pocket. Now no balance, but you want be a top pocket. Man fi be a man, me not go stop chat it. Pull up your pants pan your waist. Not no there stuff go up on display. Youths unmonitored will become men of disgrace. Man fi be a man, the liberator, now go stop chat it.
Man fi be a man. Man fi be a man. Thank you so much, Kemar. That was good. And you can check out the rest of his poets on his page on Instagram. So follow him. So thank you for sharing with us on it. And I want to say thank you so much to my listeners on the Unfiltered by Jade. And we'll be back next week, Tuesday. Thank you.
Bam, bam,